This tactic picked up a 97% win rate and works with every single team we tested with across all standards of teams. If you do enjoy the tactics on this channel, please do leave a like, drop a little subscription and turn on notifications, but let's get in and see how good this tactic is. So, we're going to start with the one powerhouse of this entire testing phase. Don't you worry, we're going to test with every single standard of team, do not worry. But first off, it's going to be that powerhouse, it is going to be Manchester City, where we actually only lost one game in the entire season, which is going to be against Liverpool as well, one of the better teams in the league, in a 1-0 defeat away. But we did win 37 out of 38 games, which is absolutely, well, it's nearly perfect, nearly 100% invincible, 0 draws as well. Erling Haaland picking up 63 league goals, Bernardo Silva coming in with 25 assists, and Ederson coming in with 97% pass completion. We scored 118 league goals and conceded just 30, and just the one red card. Going over to the team competitions, we're going to have the Champions League against Borussia Dortmund, the Super Cup against Sevilla, the Premier League, obviously, and also the FA Cup coming in against Liverpool. Alongside of that, because it's trophy, we also win the Carabao Cup against Manchester United, and also the Community Shield right at the start of the season against Arsenal, making that 6 trophies. Absolute perfection. Going over to those team stats, we are going to be seeing a very attractive set of stats. We're going to look at 118 goals, as we discussed, most shots at 627, fewer shots against us at 214, most possession at 61, which is incredible to see in the Premier League, having these real high levels of possession, the most clean sheets, and also the fewest conceded coming in at 30. It's utter dominance. Over to some of those squad stats then, we are going to be looking at Erling Haaland coming in with 63 goals. We're going to have Kevin De Bruyne coming in with 31, Nunes with 14, Kovacic coming in with 14, 13 for Grealish, 12 for Foden, Silva with 11, 7 for Doku as well. We're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players with over 10 goals and 2 real standout ones here at 31 and 63. Assist, we're going to have 4 players with 20 plus, Grealish, Foden, De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, then 16 from Gvardiol, who was playing a mixture of the left-back role and also centre-back, so that's where his assists come from, and also Nunes coming in with 12. Over to the data hub, it's going to look very good as well, as we're looking at 3.11 goals per game, a conceded of 0.79, shots per game at 16.5, a 90% pass completion, and a tackle win ratio of 78.34. You really can't fault this tactic in this one, but it works with all standards of teams, so let's go over and test with a little bit of a weaker side. So up next is going to be Leeds United, obviously over in the Sky Bet Championship, where we managed to win the league. Now, not in invincible fashion by any means of the imagination, but this just goes to show that it can perform at the best at Manchester City, but also it performs really well in the mix. Now, Leeds are one of the better teams in the Championship, but obviously there are plenty of teams that can finish above them. Let's just be honest with that. In terms of the player stats, it's going to be Nonto coming in with 21 goals, and Anthony coming in with 16 assists, as it is going to be Moulier coming with 98% pass completion. We love to see that. In terms of the stats, we were a lot more defensively solid in this one, actually ranking the best, conceding just 46 goals, and actually the 5th best coming in when it comes to scoring. So not as impressive with the goal outlet, but in terms of defensive quality, absolutely incredible. And of course, we also won the Sky Bet Championship, so there's not too much to hate. Going over to these team stats, then we're going to be looking at 2.04 points per game, fewer shots against coming in at 311, fewest conceded, obviously at 46, and also maintained a very good percentage when it comes to the possession at 59%. Not finishing rank 1 as Leicester to obtain that stat line, but a joint second basically I'm going to take and run with. In terms of the data hub, the only real thing that I possibly would want better is going to be the goals per game. Now, I do believe if you play with the attacking variant, we could have easily got over 2, probably 2.5 goals a game, to be honest, which is why I always say, please do stick around to the end of the video where you can obviously get the attacking and the defensive variants to your use, because it makes all the difference. However, we didn't concede over a goal a game, which is really impressive. 13 shots a game, the pass completion is still really good, and quite a decent, consistent 76% in attacker win ratio. Now we're going to go over to Arsenal, obviously the star boy on the thumbnail, Big Bukayo Saka, where we actually enjoyed a really good season in the Premier League, winning it by quite a comfortable amount of points in my opinion. Not that many realistically, but But do you know what? We got the job done against Manchester City. Bukayo Saka coming in with 38 goals, Martinelli contributing with 32 assists, and also Aaron Ramsdale coming in with a 98% pass completion. Now, realistically, Jesus wasn't the most explosive player in this team, let's just say that, but we made up for it by using the wide areas of the field, and it is going to be Saka and Martinelli really contributing big time in the goal outlet. We scored 111, the 111 in the Premier League, ranking us the highest in the league, and also conceded just 29 goals. So some very good stat lines here, just showing that this team, I know Arsenal are a very good team in the game, but they're not a clear favourite to win it. Obviously, you've got the likes of, well, Man City, United, Liverpool, maybe Tottenham in here as well, who can win the league in my opinion. I've seen it on my live stream save. Again, do come over and check out the live stream because we are live basically every single day, so there are a lot of people that can win this league, so it is quite cool to see us win it quite convincingly as well. We also did win the FA Cup against Tottenham and the Community Shield against Manchester City at the start of the season, doing the opposite of what we've done with Man City. We love to see it. Going over some of these team stats, the most shots we're going to claim again at 710, fewer shots against coming in at 179. Possession-wise, really, really good. Keeping up with the likes of Manchester City, the same percentage, but obviously they just edged it a little bit in other areas. But we've got to take that second place because it is 61% of the ball. We cannot complain about that. And the fewest conceded coming in at 29. It's absolutely brutal. And over to the data hub, it is going to look very, very appealing indeed, as we're going to look at 2.92 goals per game, basically edging 3 goals a game, 0.76 conceded, way under a goal a game as well, 18.68 a game when it comes to the shots, absolutely incredible, 90.66 when it comes to the pass completion, and a 77.61, nearly a 78% tackle win ratio. It's absolutely incredible. And lastly, we've hit rock bottom. It is going to be the lowest standard of team, a real sort of, you know, underdog in this French league. It is going to be Montpellier, a team which are predicted to finish, I think, around about this point of the table. And we have come out and actually got them Champions League football, which is absolutely ridiculous in my opinion. You do love to see that. Adams is going to come in with 19 goals, 13 assists. We've got Lecomte coming in with 97% pass completion, which is incredible. Although we didn't win anything, I want to show you guys exactly what you can expect playing as a real underdog in a league, and this is what you can do. It's a perfect tactic to build on. So for example, we made no signings in this save at all. If you were playing as a sort of standard a team like this, you could probably bring in a couple of signings through the door and possibly even push yourself up into that second place. So definitely must use tactic, guys. It performs with any level. Absolutely incredible. 77 goals scored, we're not going to complain, and only 33 conceded. So realistically, we're keeping up with the stat lines of these two big boys here. It's really impressive to see. And to be honest, the data hub as well looks really attractive. I mean, 2.26 goals per game, absolutely incredible with a team like Montpellier. Under a goal a game, absolutely incredible. 13 shots, maybe we can have a little bit more, but to be honest, that's still quite decent. And the pass completion remains at 90%. You can't really hate it. But I thought I'd show you guys the Champions League final, the biggest game in football history. That is going to be Ake coming down the left-hand side right now. And by the way, please pay attention to the amount of options he has in the box. He's literally got 3 options here. He's got great passing options on the edge to Núñez, who has then got the likes of Rodrigo pushed up quite a bit here to make a good option. And also John Stones pushing up. We love to see that, and you can probably guess what role that's going to be. But Ake is going to play it into Núñez, a great run inside, into Grealish, who's got to go alone, and tuck it into that far-hand corner. And it's just absolutely incredible to see how well this tactic does perform when it comes to the attacking elements. Kyle Walker now plays it into a very far pushed up John Stones, maybe a little cheeky libero, wink wink, as he's going to push up into the midfield, into De Bruyne, takes a touch, and an even better finish into the left-hand side of the goal. This Champions League also got finished off with a beautiful pen from the main man in the right-hand side. Dominance. But it's not just games we can win 3-0, we can also win games 5-0. It is going to be against West Ham at home in the Premier League. A very lively start there from Núñez inside of 7 minutes, who, by the way, is an absolute baller on this game. Shocking from West Ham there as they lose the ball twice, it's going to be, as they just completely shut off. Erling Haaland gets the pressing on into De Bruyne. That is shocking goalkeeping from what I appear to be Areola. Absolutely abysmal goalkeeping from him. West Ham never really got going in this game at all, as we actually get the third goal just after half-time in the 53rd minute. A great ball in from Gvardio, who, as I mentioned, did play left-back quite a fair bit, hence the assists. And it's just absolutely incredible You're seeing now the amount of players that are going to commit to going forward. There's never an option that isn't on. There's always players to pass to. The link-up play is absolutely incredible. And everyone scores the goals. Strikers, fullbacks, midfielders, whoever it is, they get involved and get the job done. And we tore through every single team with this team, man. It was absolutely incredible. We're going to see De Bruyne here getting his assist into Foden. Down the middle again. Poor positioning, but we've got to take it. So it's now going to be time to break down this tactic. I want to quickly say it is now the perfect time to leave a like on the video and also subscribe for a year. It's going to be a year of top FM24 content. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, and also do come over to the Twitch you can see on the screen right now. We're live every single day and the vibes are like no other stream. It's absolutely immaculate vibes. So do come over and get involved, but let's go ahead and break down this tactic. So this tactic actually was sent in by a viewer of mine, LUFC Leeds 10, Luke, absolute great guy, a regular in the streams as well, and I only made one tweak to it, and the only reason I'm uploading this is because, one, he gave me permission, and also, it's just absolutely incredible. This tactic is nuts, so let's get right into it. So, the sweeper keeper is going to come in simply on support, on take fewer risks. The inverted fullback is going to come in on defend, simply on a default. I'm a big fan of using that new role. Well done, Luke. I love to see that. The libero comes in on support, on take more risks, and also shoot less often. A ball-playing defender comes in on the left, next to the libero, on defend, on shoot less often, and tackle harder. The wingback comes in on support, on sit narrower, and also tackle harder, and that is going to complete your back four. So essentially on this, you've got a very mixed sort of back four. You've got two players that are going to be more attacking, the left back and the libero, and you've got a bit more of a composed small playing defender and a definitely composed inverted fullback. Going up the field, we're going to have a ball-winning midfield player, very big fan of this role indeed, on defend, simply on Mark Tighter. Now, naturally, when you have a ball-winner midfielder on defend, they also have instructions such as hold position and tackle harder. So what's going to happen is, this ball-winning midfield player is always going to be situated in this area. So if the libero does push up, the ball-winning midfield player is going to be roughly in a proximity to cover that area, which is why you don't really get caught out too much on the counter-attack play in that way. Also, this inverted fullback is going to be drifted into this area here, so it pretty much replaces where the libero is going to push past, so it works really well. Next to him, a box-to-box is going to come in on support, on take more risks, move into channels, and also tackle harder. And next to him, to finish off that midfield three, the Metzala on attack, on close down more, and tackle harder. A very versatile midfield three, which each role does something completely different, and they all gel in really well together. I do want to quickly take a second to thank all of the names coming down the screen right now. You guys make the real difference at the end of the day. These are going to be the new or existing Patreon members. I would recommend you checking it out. Link is going to be in the description. Join the other 380 people. You get some fantastic perks, including access to the tactics and the videos early. You get access to all three of these tactical files. I tweak your tactics for you, and also, the big one, you get enrolled to the monthly Patreon giveaway, which is usually around about a £50 to £60 prize equivalent, so it's definitely worth tuning into. Check it out, the link's going to be in the description. But let's carry on with this tactic. So, on the left, we're going to have the inside forward on attack, on shoot more often, and sit narrower. And on the right, we're going to have a winger on support, on cut inside with the ball, tackle harder. So on this side, it's a little bit more restricted, to be honest, because obviously this is going to be a defensive fullback, this is going to be a supportive winger. But what makes up for it on this side is going to be this Metzala, because he is really going to get stuck in on this side of the field. So don't feel like this side is too negative, because the mixture of this winger still being somewhat attacking, but the Metzala makes up for it big time. And the last player is going to be that pressing forward, who is simply going to be on attack, on dribble less, and shoot more often. So over to the team instructions then. We are going to set for a positive mentality. In terms of the in possession tab, there are going to be a few instructions. The first one is going to be fairly wide when it comes to that team width, a very, very important instruction to have on. We're going to pass into the space, and because it's quite a ball-playing defender libero-based system, we are also going to have play out from the back selected, or play out of defence to be exact. We're going to up the tempo to slightly higher, one off the max, so it is going to be a bit of an intense tactic to play, but as you guys know, the meta tactics are typically like this. They are very aggressive and in-your-face styles. In terms of the directness, we are going to knock it down to shorter. So this tactic had incredible levels of possession in terms of the stat lines, but you could even get more possession by knocking it down all the way here. Now, it might prevent some of the chances we created, but if you want to go more possession-based, there's definitely room to do so. Mixed crosses is going to occupy the work ball into the box instruction, and the last one is going to be more expressive. Now, for this alone, there are a couple of things you can tweak. We discussed one with the directness. Also, if you're playing as an underdog team and you're conceding way too many goals, you could take off being more expressive. But to be honest, we tested with all standards of teams, didn't tweak anything apart from one instruction I will tell you very shortly, and it worked to perfection. Transition, there are going to be a few things selected. It's going to be your meta instructions, your counter press, your counter. That is literally the best instructions in my opinion to really get the best out of any tactic, realistically. We're going to distribute the ball quickly as well. It is a very attacking tactic. I'm pretty sure that's quite obvious by now. We're also going to play it to the fullbacks and the centre-backs. We're not going to opt to roll it out or short goal kicks. We're literally going to leave it up to the goalkeeper and see exactly what he can do. But to be honest, I played a fair few games, I obviously simmed a fair few games, and I didn't really notice one goalkeeper error in terms of playing out from the back, so it works really well. But going over to the out of possession tab, and the only thing I tweaked with this tactic, I actually opted to have the standard line, the high pressing line of engagement, and also we're going to max out this trigger press all the way up to much more often, and we're going to prevent short goalkeeper distribution. So again, very meta based. This is literally, in my opinion, the best beta tactic. Now obviously this is going to change when we get the actual game come out and the winter update, but in my opinion this is the meta 433 for this year. You need to get it, you need to download it and give it a whirl. And again, shout out to Luke for making this masterpiece. Yeah, you are seeing it right, a 10-1 win over Crystal Palace. I thought I'd get this in before we go over the other two variants. I mean, this game is absolutely ridiculous. Palace got absolutely dismantled, and we are going to see such a wide variety of goals. That camera angle was beautiful, by the way. And I mean, we're seeing the effects of Martinelli in full force here. Jesus, to be fair to him, he is a good player. That's outrageous by Saka, by the way. He is a great player, but in this team, it's got to be your star boy Saka, pretty much dominating the face of the team. Absolutely incredible. And the only goal they scored was a set piece from Eze, obviously known for that prowess in real life. But to be honest with you, at no point during the game did we think, you know, we were ever going to lose this. Jesus even got a goal there himself, which is incredible. But in this team, he definitely sort of played a more supportive role, and Martinelli and Saka played these type of roles. The goal scorers, the creme de la creme, the absolute icemen themselves. As Sanabria actually picks up a goal there. But to be honest, when you're scoring 10 goals, there's room for everyone to get a goal realistically. But on this occasion, Martinelli and Saka, they hogged them. As we are going to see Saka again go down the right-hand side. And Declan, what is going on? A very strange goal there, off the bar. I don't know what just happened there, to be honest, but I'm also going to say, I'm going to include this in the video, if you're seeing the amount of set pieces we scored that game, they're going to be the set pieces I set up on the FM Scout video. So definitely go and check that out, because we scored quite a fair few that game. So just shows it's worth setting them up, it's worth copying them, because they're absolutely incredible. But do you know what? This tactic, man, it's amazing. But going over to that attack and variant, and the reason why I always say stick to these parts of the videos is because obviously if you want to download them all in one, you can with the Patreon, but I'll always include them for the people that don't wish to do that or can't do that. So do you know what? Let's get into it and go over a few of the changes. So in terms of the back line, the only real change is going to be the inverted wing back comes in now. A little bit more of an attacking option than the defensive option we had. The libero remains exactly the same, the ball playing defender exactly the same, and the wing back exactly the same. So the real big change is going to be this inverted wing back coming in, which is a little bit more attacking than that defensive option we had before. We also get rid of the ball winning midfield player because we are trying to attack at the end of the day, and we introduce a roaming playmaker on support simply on Mark Titer. The box to box gets another instruction. He is now told to get further forwards and really contribute to that attack. The Mezzala remains exactly the same, although I am partly wrong there actually, let me correct myself, as we do add dribble more, and this is simply just to have one more player running at that back line and cause all sorts of issues. The winger on the right simply gets told to go on to attack, the winger on the left remains exactly the same, and the pressing forward remains untouched. So the front three, apart from a little tweak here on the right hand side, remains exactly the same. Instruction wise, there is going to be a few things that change. First off, the mentality. It's now going to be up to attacking. We also are going to have overlap left and underlap right on. Obviously the inverted wingback's going to underlap right and the fullback is going to overlap left. A nice balance, causes confusion, we love to see it. And other than that, it's going to remain exactly the same, to be honest with you boys, because being more expressive is always still very attacking, as the default variant had. We still want to work the ball into the box because I'm a big fan of creating high quality chances, especially with this system, because we get so many anyway. And these two things here just plays really, really well anyway. Transition, I'm going to show you to prove that nothing changed, but there is literally no change, so Don't need to talk about that. Out of possession, a couple of things are going to change. So now the higher line is going to come in. We've maxed out this. We've still got the goalkeeper, obviously, prevention of the distribution, but also we have got get stuck in. So this is going to give you a very attacking 4-3-3. I do believe you can actually use this against really small teams, but I would save this when you're a goal down. When you're chasing the game, use this tactic, and trust me, you're going to get back into that game, because there's too many plays for you not to score. Let's just say that. But going over to that defensive variant, there are going to be quite a few changes. So we're going to start up from the striker first. The pressing forward is going to go down to support on the same instructions, but instead of attack, drops down a little bit. The inside forward on the left is going to be on support. The winger on the right is going to go back to being like the default. He's also going to drop to support. And the midfield sees a couple of changes. So the box-to-box is going to go back to almost a basic box-to-box, simply just on tackle harder, on support. The central midfield player comes in on support instead of that Metzala. On pass it shorter, take fewer risks, run from position, close down more, and tackle harder. And the real big change, the DM comes in to really protect that back four, who's going to be on defend and tackle harder. Now, I've gone with a very, very risk-free back four now. The only one that's got a little bit of attack and element is going to be on this left-hand side, who is going to be a wing-back on support, on sit narrower. Then have a ball-playing defender on take more risks and hold position, the default instructions. Then we actually get rid of the libero completely, because it is a very attack and roll, and this is a defensive tactic. So I actually introduced a central defender, and we go back to having that inverted fullback to complete the back four. They're going to be your player instruction changes. Let's see what the team instructions changes are. So we're going to go back to that positive mentality. We're actually going to change the width now, and that's basically to compress the team a little bit and make it easy to complete these passes and dominate possession. We're going to pass into space. We're going to play out from the back. We're going to have much shorter on the directness, because we are now going for a more sort of pass side to side, tiki-taka possession-based game style. Control is the right word, actually. The tempo is now going to be on slightly lower. We're going to dribble less. We're going to be more disciplined as well. So we are now essentially just trying to really control the pace of the game and hold on to the ball, while working the ball into the box. On the rare occasion, we still get a chance. In transition, there are going to be a couple of changes. That is going to be the removing of the counter. We're not really looking to counter anymore. We're going to slow the pace down, and that's pretty much it, guys. There's not too much to change, but these couple of things just eliminate a bit of the risks and help us maintain the ball. Hold possession, we've actually changed a few things. So the standard line remains the same as the default, but we've dropped the higher line up to a mid-block line of engagement. We've got it on more often, but also we have kept this prevent shot goalkeeper distribution on, because I think when you've got a pressing forward, you need to capitalise on it. You need to use it. Therefore, it's going to remain on. And that is going to give you guys 3 variants of this fantastic 4-3-3. In my opinion, the real meta when it comes to tactics in the beta so far. By far one of the best ones I've ever used. So definitely download it, because it is really good. And if you guys have enjoyed today's video, please do leave a like, drop a little subscription below. Be sure to turn on the notification bell, and we're going to be live tonight. This video goes live at 4. I'm going to be live on Twitch at 5:30. So please do come over, say hello in the chat, get involved. It's going to be an absolute banger of a stream. As always, I'll see you boys there. Enjoy the rest of your day. And that is me done. If you guys did enjoy today's video, here are going to be a couple more videos I'm sure you're going to love. Down here, you're going to see my previous video, and here is going to be a video I personally recommend for you guys to check out. Trust me, you're going to love it.